Hello again, Oklahoma City Thunder fans. This is the NBA Finals Game 3 set for the Miami Heat and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The tweet of the shout-out of the night goes to Tyler Neal of the Oklahoma Sooners. At Twitter, he is at @T_Neal. He says that the Miami Heat shot 37% and we lost. That's not good. 37% and still score 90-plus points means that the Thunder fouled too much. As far as the Thunder themselves, the scoring leaders, Kevin Durant had 25 points tonight and Russell had 19, while the Miami Heat had King James with 29 and Dwayne Wade with 25. The shot heard around the world came at the end of the first half with Russell Westbrook hitting a three-point play at the end of the first half. I thought that the NBA and the officials were going to give him a 2. They ended up giving him the extra point for 3 from behind the arc, which I'm very happy that they ended up doing, because you either have to review it or not review it. Russell got kind of a break there. Where he really didn't get a break was at the end of the game when Eric Spoelstra ran out onto the court when Russell tried his other 3 at the end of the game. Eric Spoelstra was wasn't just halfway out on the court. He was out on the court at Miami. Unlike a couple years ago when Kelvin Sampson was out at the court in Stillwater, there was at least a timeout. Eric Spoelstra was out on the court while the game was still going on, and he didn't make Russell Westbrook miss that shot. He had nothing to do with Russell Westbrook missing that shot. But being an NBA fan, you have to make that call. Now, it kind of goes back to the last game and the foul with Kevin Durant, and I said that LeBron James should not have been called for that foul. This is kind of a different thing. You cannot let a coach, a guy that's not even in a uniform, he's wearing a jacket and a tie and slacks. You cannot let him, A, be the deciding factor in a game. B, you cannot let him go halfway out onto the court and interact with the players. It cannot happen that way. Unluckily, the Thunder missed the shot, so it really wouldn't have mattered anyway. But I'll tell you who had a great game also, besides Russell and KD, and that was Kendrick Perkins. He had a pretty good game. I believe he had a double-double tonight. Every time this guy gets said to have a bad game and he needs to be sat down and he doesn't really fit the scheme of what the Thunder are trying to do, yada, 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 yada. Every time that happens, he still ends up playing great. He ends up playing well. If you'll remember, I believe it was about this time, Game 3 last time, to where the TNT guys, Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, and the guy to Indiana that's blanking right now, his name right now for me. But those guys called out Kendrick Perkins after Game 2 was over. They came home for Game 3. Of course, we all know what happened during that Game 3. Not only did Kendrick Perkins step it up, but they also ended up winning the game. That was huge for the Thunder. They ended up not only winning the game, they ended up sweeping the rest of the series. That was a big deciding factor on the Spurs series. As far as this is concerned, the Thunder right now, we really need things to start going well now. We need this team to start playing with a little bit of urgency. This team is now down 2-1 at Miami. Not an easy place to win. Luckily, they only have to win one game down there, and this could have been that one game. They did everything they were supposed to do. Tyler Neal said it best in his tweet of the night when the Heat shot 37%. They shot 37% did the Heat. The Thunder really turned it up on defense. But you don't win the game. You know, there's got to be something to that. There's got to be some way to fix that. And there is. What you've got to do is, if you're a Thunder fan, is just stay with it. Stay confident. Know that, hey, you made this team shoot 37%. The problem, as Tyler said in his tweet, the fouls. 2 in particular. I love him. He's my favorite player. Hey, if you could see a little bit lower, I have his jersey on. I love the Bearded Hawk. But you cannot foul Shane Battier like that. And the same goes for Fish. D-Fish, Derek Fisher, whatever your nickname for this guy is, former Laker. He's got 7 NBA championships, 6 NBA championships, something like that. Now Harden, I'll give him a little bypass in that it's his first time here. He was going up against Shane Battier, obviously, which is bad. But here's the key point. This is not Derek Fisher's first time here. It's not his second time here. Not his third time here. It is like, I believe it's his either 7th or 8th time in the NBA Finals. Derek, you've got to know you can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen, buddy. You cannot give up a 3-point possession like that. Foul shots were very meek. Kevin Durant really had 25 points, and he didn't even play all 4 quarters. Thunder fans, remember, he left with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter because of foul trouble. What really ended up hurting the Thunder also in that is not only did Kevin go to the sidelines shortly after that with foul trouble, but so did, as I call him, Hustle Westbrook. Brick Brook, I believe, is what Skip Bayless calls him on the ESPN. It doesn't matter what you call him. Matters is that he had too many turnovers. Brooks saw that. Brooks made the right decision to set him down. And that really only leaves you with James Harden. Now, I will say that Derek Fisher, really stepped up his game there when we needed him to while he was out. But for the most part, you need Russell Westbrook in there against Mario Chalmers. I would like to now pay a lot of homage to Joey Crawford. Joey Crawford loves to call technical fouls, particularly technical fouls on Kendrick Perkins. I think it was huge that Perkins knew that it was Game 3 of the playoffs. You could be down 0-2, and you have got to keep your composure. To me, it looked like he knew that. And as did Joey Crawford, and didn't call a technical foul on him. Now, there was a technical foul played into the game tonight, which I do not know, obviously, none of us. And if you're a Miami fan and you heard what was said, blah, 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 you don't know what was said. Something was said, something was done. In my opinion, Scott Brooks just had enough of it. I don't mind those kind of technical fouls. You're sticking up for your player. You're the coach. You're sticking up there for your player. You pay this guy good money to go out there and do what you need him to do. Serge Ibaka is a good player, and we're going to have a big-time decision on what to do with him and my boy here, the Bearded Hawk. Are you going to keep both of these guys, or are you not? Does that mean that you're going to cut Fabo or not? I don't know. That's a decision that Scott Brooks and Sam Presti and those guys have got to make. But right now, you can't worry about that. You've got to worry about Game 4 that's coming up on, I believe it's Wednesday night on ABC. That game is again at Miami. They got to get one of these. It's disappointing that it wasn't the one tonight. They did everything that they had to do to win the game tonight. It's just that Kevin had too much foul trouble and way too many foul shots were taken by Miami. Something has got to change, and hopefully it will by Wednesday or Friday. Because let me tell you, if it doesn't change by Wednesday or Friday, this thing's going to be over. And you do not want that to happen again. We know what it's like to go 1 and out in the Western Conference Finals. You do not want it to go that way in the NBA Finals. So you need to get this thing back to Oklahoma City. You need to do everything that you can do, Thunder, to make that happen. Hopefully they'll do that. Just don't give up on this team yet. I think you saw this team grow, and we'll see what happens. Thunder up, everybody, and have a good night.